The venue was already full. 214 people. White chairs, cream-colored roses, string lights wrapped around every column in that barn we'd spent 8 months booking, arguing over and paying for in 3 separate installments. My dress cost more than my first car. My mother had cried twice just watching me put it on. I was standing in the bridal suite 10 minutes before I was supposed to walk down the aisle when my maid of honor, my cousin Reese, walked in and closed the door behind her with both hands, very slowly, the way people close doors when they're about to say something that cannot be unsaid. I said, "Whatever it is, it can wait 20 minutes. She said, "It really can't." I need to back up. My name isn't important. I'm 29. I'm a graphic designer. I'd been with my fiancé, Callum, for 4 years. He was, or seemed to be, everything I'd been looking for without knowing I was looking. Steady, funny in a low-key way, the kind of man who remembered what you said 2 conversations ago and brought it back up naturally. We met through a work connection, dated slowly, moved in together after 14 months, and got engaged at a restaurant in Portugal that he'd researched for weeks. It was a good relationship. That's the thing I keep coming back to. It wasn't perfect, but it was good. We argued and made up and grew, and I genuinely believed we were building something real. Reese had been my maid of honor from the moment Callum proposed. She was also, as it happened, extremely online, the kind of person with a broad social media reach, a memory for faces, and an absolute refusal to mind her own business when she thought something was wrong. 3 days before the wedding, she'd seen something. She hadn't told me right away because she wanted to be sure. She'd spent those 3 days being sure. She'd verified through 2 separate people, neither of whom knew each other. She'd screenshotted. She'd done, essentially, the investigative work of a person who understood exactly how much was at stake. What she found, Callum had been seeing someone else for 11 months. Her name was Andrea. They'd met through a work event, ironic given how Callum and I had met. And what had apparently started as a professional connection had quietly, consistently become something else. 11 months. We'd been engaged for 8. He had proposed to me while already seeing her. I want you to hold that for a second. He had looked me in the eyes, in Portugal, over a dinner he'd planned in extraordinary detail, and asked me to marry him while he was already 3 months into an affair. He had watched me cry. He had called both our mothers that same night. He had posted a photo, while already seeing someone else. Reese told me all of this in 7 minutes, standing in the bridal suite, while 214 people sat in white chairs on the other side of a closed door. I did not cry. I'm still not sure why. My body went into something that felt like a very specific kind of stillness, like the second before a car crash when your brain just starts cataloging information instead of feeling it. I said, "Does he know that you know?" Reese said, "No." I said, "Does Andrea know about the wedding?" Reese paused, then said, "I think so. There's a message where he tells her the wedding is, I'm quoting, a formality he needs to get through." A formality. 214 people, 8 months of planning, my dress, my mother crying. A formality he needed to get through.
What I did next is the part that surprised everyone, including me. I did not walk out of the venue. I did not send Reese out to make an announcement. I did not call my mother in. I asked Reese to hand me her phone. I asked her to pull up Andrea's contact information, which she had found through the screenshot trail. I texted Andrea from Reese's number. I said, "This is my name. I know everything. I'm not angry at you. I think we've both been lied to. But I need to know one thing. "Did you know he was getting married today?" The response came back in 4 minutes. Yes, he told me it was complicated. He told me you two had been over for a long time emotionally, and the wedding was for family reasons. He said he was going to tell you everything after. After. He had a whole plan for after. I typed back, "He was lying to you too. I'm sorry." She said, "Oh my God." I put the phone down. I looked at my reflection in the mirror, full dress, hair done, flowers in my hand, and I made a decision. I walked out of the bridal suite. Down the hallway, I stopped one of the groomsmen and I asked him to go get Callum quietly and bring him to the back hallway. I said it was a pre-ceremony thing, a tradition, nothing alarming. Callum came around the corner 2 minutes later smiling, full suit, he'd gotten a haircut. He looked genuinely happy, which is the detail that still gets me when I think about it. Either he was a better actor than I ever gave him credit for, or he had so completely compartmentalized what he was doing that he had found a way to actually feel happy. I don't know which is worse. He said, "You look incredible." I said, "I know. I worked really hard for today, which is why I need you to understand that what I'm about to say is not impulsive." His smile went still. I said, "I know about Andrea. I know about 11 months. I know about the formality you needed to get through." The color left his face the way color leaves a painting left in the sun, not all at once, gradually, until there's almost nothing left. He started to say my name. I said, "Don't. Go tell your parents what's happened. I'm going to go tell mine, and then you're going to help me figure out how to explain this to 214 people, because they all came here for something real, and that's the least you can do." He did not help explain it. He left through a side door. His best man made a brief, pale-faced announcement to the room. My father walked me out through the front while the guests were still processing. The reception venue gave us a partial refund. I ate the cake, one slice, at home, in my dress, with Reese and my mother and my 2 closest friends at my kitchen table at 9 p.m. Someone put music on. At some point we were laughing, though I couldn't tell you what about. Callum called once a week later. I let it ring. I haven't spoken to him since. The dress is in a garment bag in my closet. I keep meaning to sell it. Every time I open the bag to look at it, I think, that's not a sad story. That's a story about a woman who found out before it was too late. And then I zip it back up, and I go make coffee, and I get on with my life.